Hey guys, good morning. Anthony here. It is Saturday, April 4th, 2020. And I have an article here from the Wall Street Journal, that I'm going to put in the description box. And the title of the article is New York City sees more burglaries of businesses under coronavirus emergency measures. And it goes on to talk about shops and stores, many of them major chain stores as well as regular businesses, boarding up their stores in parts of Manhattan and Times Square area, and again all around the city. The data is saying, well, the Wall Street Journal says here that burglaries of businesses have risen in New York City under emergency measures to fight the new coronavirus, according to the New York City Police Department, and some businesses are boarding up their storefronts. So NYPD is reporting that they have seen a 75% increase in reports of burglaries of commercial establishments from March 12th, when New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio declared a state of emergency, to March 31st, police officials said. NYPD recorded 254 burglaries during that period of time, so those couple of weeks there in March, versus 145 burglaries for the same time period last year. So clearly, burglaries are going up. And all boroughs of the city have seen increases, the article here says. And so, let's see. So this is prompted by Governor Andrew Cuomo, calls for closure of all non-essential businesses, leading many retail stores to shutter. So it goes on to cite some store owners here. So during that same time period, March 12th to March 31st, it also says major felonies such as rapes, murders, and assaults fell by nearly 20% when compared to the same time period last year. So from 3740 now to 4670 a year earlier. Break-ins of eateries and supermarkets and retail establishments are fueling a rise in commercial burglaries. So with 30 burglaries of supermarkets and bodegas between March 12th and March 31st, NYPD data, a 400% increase from 6 such incidents recorded during the same period a year earlier. Guys, this is pretty telling news here, considering that we're relatively still in a quote-unquote peaceful scenario right now. Civil unrest hasn't really broken out yet, but I think these businesses are doing good of boarding up. The gentleman they quote here in the article says it's a bad idea, but that it sends the wrong message. But if I have a store and I have to mandatory close that store, I want to board it up to protect my assets, my windows, be a deterrent for thieves possibly breaking in. I don't want to give them an open carte blanche to my store. So thieves are taking currency, electronics, consumables, such as food, alcohol, and retail goods from businesses, Mr. Petrie said. They gain entry to closed businesses by forcing open doors, breaking windows, or climbing in from rooftops. So NYPD apparently is upping their mobilized patrols. This is in conjunction with, I think, almost 1,700 officers on the sick rolls, well over 1,000 infected with the coronavirus, and also many of civilian NYPD workers that are out with the coronavirus, testing positive for coronavirus as well. So, in my opinion, this is a recipe for future disaster in cities like New York City. If things continue to go south and get worse, we're going to see these burglaries increase. We're going to see civil unrest increase because people are basically looking for opportunities to loot. That's basically what happens in these type of times. This goes from, look back into New York through 1977 during the blackout, for which I saw firsthand that the city was looted in a matter of hours and just a few days. And, we're talking roll-up doors pulled off and stores looted and robbed of everything you could think of, all the way up through Hurricane Sandy, and now with the close down of the due to coronavirus, we have a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. So check out this article. It shows some pictures and quotes some business owners in and around the city area. Also with the boarding up is inviting graffiti artists out. So companies are also sending out anti-graffiti crews to remove the graffiti from the retailers' plywood that have been applied to the doors. So a gentleman by the name of Mr. Caserta, I believe he runs a 34th president. Who is Mr. Caserta? He's one of the executive director of the Park Slope Fifth Avenue Business Improvement District. So Mr. Caserta says, boarding up buildings sends an inappropriate message to the community. It brings up this idea of rioting and a collapse of society. Mr. Caserta said, this is way too much, and it sends the wrong signal. I happen to disagree with Mr. Caserta's statement here. I think it's a good thing that they're boarding up. They're taking preemptive measures because many businesses know what's coming and what could happen in a city like New York at the blink of an eye. So let's keep an eye on this, guys. We'll monitor the situation not only in New York City, but in cities and towns across America. Back where I live in South Carolina, North Carolina area, in the Charlotte area, I believe 2 burglars were arrested just the other day in the Lake Wylie area, which is just outside of Charlotte, in between North and South Carolina there on the border, robbing or breaking into storage units and attempting to rob storage units. So we're going to see a lot of this increase in burglaries as we move on in this scenario. So keep your heads on a swivel, keep alert, keep your eyes open. Also for your residents, make sure there's always somebody home. Don't leave your residence unattended. My residence is being watched right now, have somebody living there. And so you want to keep an eye on your preps, number one, and you want to protect your lives as well. So that's the video this morning, guys. More to come. It's hopefully everybody's staying safe, keeping their ears open. This is bigger, much, much bigger than what everybody thinks it is. This isn't fun. This isn't, a time to post funny memes and make jokes. And, I know people are trying to be lighthearted, but a lot of people have not prepared for this type of event, a societal collapse, an economic holocaust that's coming to our nation and around the world. And this gives an opportunity to those that want to politicize this greater strength moving forward in this political year to do damage to our republic. And that's how I see it, guys. Anthony signing off. Stay ready. God bless.